All right, so the World Economic Forum, you may know them as they've been kind of their name has been surrounding this whole Great Reset thing, as well as the whole you'll own nothing in like 30 years from now or something. You'll own nothing 2030 or some 20. What's that? That's actually 10 years from now. I forget what the actual year was. If it was 30 years from now or if it was 2030, it's like saying by then you own nothing and you'll love it. So they posted something that was fairly interesting. And it says it was a video and they showed all of these things talking about it was like environmental stuff, saying that the lockdowns are quietly improving the cities around the world, which is interesting because it's you think how this has been making people's lives miserable, be it from an economic standpoint, especially when you consider the fact that, and I say this as a guy that's in the music industry, the insane amount of venues that have closed down for good. Like this shit fucking sucks. You know? And they act as if, or they posted something that was alluding to this idea like, well, life is getting better because of the lockdowns. And what they said in the response said, we're deleting the tweet. Lockdowns aren't quietly improving cities around the world, but they are an important part of the public health response to COVID-19. So I got to thinking, was it an accident? And I ask you guys that are watching this, was it an accident or was it not? Like, was it a rogue like environmental nut that worked for them? Was it a mistaken language, but they wanted to bring about the same concept? And I guess it's hard to say that that's the case because it was like it was an actual video that was alongside it. And when you consider this is the group that also has said some other things, it isn't completely irrational that they would up and post something like this and be serious. But when you look at their response here, they're acting as if, okay, yeah, no, it's not quietly improving cities, and it's important it's important part of the public health response, which is a weird thing because it doesn't say that, okay, it's not improving cities and also what we said was BS. It's just more like, okay, they're important. What does that mean? I don't know. It's not like they denounced what it was they said. So I guess I answer my own question. They actually did it on purpose, and I guess they got enough lash that they were like, okay, this is done in poor taste, and they decided to get rid of it because they never actually say what they did was bad. But it was an interesting video. It was like you look at something as destructive, certainly economically destructive, and this is the World Economic Forum after all. But something destructive as lockdowns are, and they were just like, oh well, like it says in that one screenshot, it says Earth seismic noise has been reduced to the lowest in decades, stuff like that. It was like a lot of environmental stuff like, hey, look at people aren't basically moving around like they were, rather in the same capacity that they were, and therefore lockdown good. And now they say, okay, they aren't actually quietly improving the cities, but they're an important part of public health response. I don't know what that means, but considering who it's coming from, I lean towards the idea that they just don't like the bad publicity that it seemed to come with. Because definitely when you consider other world leaders, even the WHO had said that lockdowns were basically not good. They were saying that should not be your first kind of response when trying to handle the virus. So take from that from whatever way that you may